So, F1 season is coming up on this Sunday. So, why is Formula One and selling your home, why are they more similar than you actually think? Where is the similarities here? I mean, Sunday does start the new F1 season, doesn't it? And it's probably the most anticipated event as Lewis Hamilton, or otherwise known, and Max Verstappen renew their bitter rivalry. But what if there's the multi-millionaire drivers hurtling around the racetrack around the world have to do with selling a property? You might be thinking. Often I might be thinking that as well. Well, there is actually lots of similarities when you think about it, when it comes to running a successful F1 team and how good the agencies get winning the results for their clients as well, for their state agencies, such as, for example, pole position. Look at pole position. As a seller is in the current market, you are actually in pole position as a seller right now. It's still a seller's market for now. Beware of this. It is still a seller's market just now. But this can turn as a result of things that are happening in the current situation. And demand is still outstripping supply. There's only about 466 properties on the market right throughout Fife just now up for sale. 12 months ago, this was 780, and before the pandemic, it was 1,200 properties. So we've still got an extreme restriction in supply. So it's still a seller's market right now, even though there's less demand last week for properties than there was actually coming on. And we'll find out this week a bit more if that's going to continue like that as well. But it'll still take a long time to get back to these numbers where we were before. Because even if you're adding on an extra, 20 a week, you're talking about another 10, 20, another 20 weeks of that, which is almost half a year to get another 400 on in stock. And that's only bringing you back to where you were 12 months ago. And 12 months ago, it was still buoyant. So there's still a long way to go before we get back into that. But as a seller, you're in pole position. Now, we know how to make the most opportunity of that with you in pole position and help get the best possible price for your property. The next one I would say is probably attention to detail. Thank you, Mark. Two great topics, Mark says. So F1 is a very, now this floats my boat completely, extremely geeky here. Attention to detail. F1 is a very scientific sport. The margins for error are minuscule and can have deadly results. So acute attention to detail is the order of the day every day. And while the detail side of selling your home might not be life-threatening, we understand that it can be life-changing as well. And that's why we carefully look at every aspect of the journey in the property's marketing itself, whether it's from the property description, the marketing strategy, the photography, the social media plan, and much more. Take, for example, Church Place in Upper Largo. Now, before Church Place, it's about in the process to come onto the websites. It has had its social media pre-portal launch. Now, before that actually happened, it took its journey from the photographer went out, the drone footage was done, and it's just been over the line today to make sure, because we had to get the right day, we had to get the right circumstances to put a drone up. You can't put a drone up in the rain. You can't put a drone up when it's windy, because that's not possible. You have to make sure you get a really good day for a drone as well to make it look outstanding for this type of property, especially if you're selling high value properties with drone footage. You also have to make sure the photographs are right as well. So they have to be taken on the right time of day. The property has to be staged as well sometimes, because that's maybe what the seller wants. So there's all these wee bits. Then the creative content person has to go out and do all the descriptions and measurements. The photographer, as I said, has to go out and do all that as well. The home report has to get done as well in the process. So it's coinciding and fitting all these right people in at the right various stages of the event. It's almost like a military precision exercise in that process. As I say, it really floats my boat because I'm very systematic in how I do things. And it get the result I'm after. So I work out the result I want, and then I work out the strategy I need to do in order to get that result at the end. So by the time I'm about to start the journey, I know what the result is going to be by the time I get to the end of it, for certain almost. And I know where I'm aiming for as well, and often exceed that actually. But that's another story. So it's a very disciplined attention to detail exercise. So that's the similarities between F1 and a state agency. Finally, I think the most important thing as well is a team sport. Sure, Hamilton and Verstappen are superstars, as most are other elite individuals who drive their respect for their respective teams. But F1 is very much a team sport. You can see that. They have mechanics, they have designers, they have media staff, they have chefs, they have fitness coaches, they have logistics managers, and very many more. And it's the same in the agency world. You know, I have fitness coaches. I do fitness as a result to keep me ahead of my game all the time, to keep my brain active, to keep what I'm going. I have estate agency coaches as well in order to do that. I have public speaking coaches as well. I read loads of books as well to get the knowledge and the wealth, what I need to do and the experience I need to do from other people more successful than me to understand and tweak and adapt in order to get the best out of everything. And that's the kind of the same thing. So having a good team of experienced and enthusiastic people all working with the same goal in mind is essential. The classic example, you know, I saw on a wall one time, and it had two horses pulling against each other. And I said to the guy about, you know, the two horses pulling against each other. I said, what's all that about, two horses pulling against each other? They're both tied together, but they're pulling away. Well, he says, you know, it just reminds me that, you know, every day that I should make sure I'm pulling in the same direction as other people. And that's why I leave that picture up there. He says, but he says, more importantly, did you know that two horses pulling in the same direction together can actually pull more weight than two horses can individually added together? Say that again. Two horses pulling in the same direction together can pull more weight than actually two horses pulling individually and then added together. So the sum of the parts is actually more as a result of the individuals. And that's exactly the same as we work in a estate agency. It's selling your home for that premium price and the time scale that suits you and negotiating the best deal for you as well. And it gives you the best chance of achieving that success and that dream home that you're after and allowing you to get the results to get for you for where you're selling just now to allow you possibly to get that dream home and even more. We've demonstrated that loads and loads of times. You can put us to the test. You can ask me to clearly demonstrate that for you. I'm not going to do it on here, but if you want to do it, you know, privately, feel free to message me and I'll show you loads of examples of key instances where we've taken the exact same property next door. It's been sold with another agent and we've sold it within a fraction of the time that they've sold, and we've sold ours for fundamentally more. That's as a result of everything I've just discussed before. It's the team, it's the attention to detail, and it's making sure that we're ahead of our game and the top of our game all the time. And that's it, guys. I just thought I'd touch base with that and tell you all about that and the journey. So if you're looking forward to F1, good luck, because some people don't like the F1. So regardless if you're cheering for next season or not, you can be confident that we're definitely on your side in this process. If you want to contact us, please feel free to message me direct on this post. And until next time, guys, I'm Jim Parker.